What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I'm going to talk to you about PayPal. I want to go over some of the current data points and why this might be your last opportunity to buy PayPal at these prices before it hits the $70 plus range. So I want to go over all the things that you need to know, but first make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So starting off today, it did show a lot of good strength. So it did go up 2.43% and 7.8 million or 7.4 million shares being traded. 11.6 is the average. These are some of the transactions that did occur on the secondary market above $100,000. So kind of a abnormal amount of buying. So even though the volume itself was relatively low, you did have a lot of institutions physically getting in, and a lot of them were fairly big. So 5.49 million, 1.8, and then 1.3. Similarly, if you're actually looking at the options, which I'll cover in a second, you did have a abnormal amount of buying. Plus there was one big one right here, so 50.4 million. So big money is definitely looking at PayPal. And of course, one big thing that is going to really propel it higher, that's aside from its own technicals and potential rate cuts, that is going to be their upcoming earnings. So in case you do not know, their earnings is slated for the 30th pre-market. This is the current estimates right now, so 98 cents for the earnings per share and 7.81 billion for revenue. And so far, like obviously their last earnings or two earnings ago, they gave very bad future guidance. So as a byproduct of that, this is where analysts started to really adjust their earnings per share and revenue down quite a lot. And so in essence, with the bar and standards very low, if PayPal comes in better than anticipated, that's going to cause a domino effect, potentially for the Q3 and also Q4 earnings. So causing PayPal's stock price to go up pretty significantly. So right now, 98 cents is the estimate that is based on 32 analysts. So it's ranging anywhere from the low end on 88 to the high end of 102. And then moving over to the revenue, 7.81 billion for that. That's based on only 30 analysts, low end being 7.76, high being 8.04. So that does work out to be around 7.23% year over year growth. So once again, with the standards so low for PayPal, I think in reality, PayPal is going to hit a pretty good home run. And obviously as a byproduct of that, is going to cause the stock price just to go up like crazy. Because like I've been signaling over the last several videos, the Elliott Wave technicals do point for PayPal to hit between that $64.80 and $66 range. That's not even counting a possible readjustment due to their earnings. So once again, this is where easily PayPal could hit that $70 range. And in the past, PayPal has really struggled with that $68, $69 range. So once again, if it does get over that, then in theory, the sky is the limit. You have some crazy bullish analysts that are, or I guess not analysts, but individuals on Twitter who have fairly large followings saying $120 is coming, blah, blah, blah. I think realistically, $80 by the end of 2024 is kind of achievable in my opinion, given this circumstances that we are in. That's also factoring 2 rate cuts. So going back over here, right now there is a good consensus for the September 18th meeting to be a 25 basis point cut, 91.7% likelihood. And moving over to the next one, you do have a 49.5% likelihood of a second back-to-back 25 basis point cut. So all in all, that is pretty kick-ass, and that in among itself is really going to propel a lot of fintechs and growth stocks significantly higher. So all in all, I feel a lot more upside is coming with PayPal. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. Moving over to some data points. Again, just for transparency, I'm not saying that PayPal is a squeeze play. I just like to bring this up to analyze, but shorts did return roughly around 8,000 shares. So the fact that PayPal was kind of green today, or very green, and shorts did not double down, that shows that it's justified. So that's how I see things. But 2.07% of the free float is being shorted. 21.64 million shares overall are being shorted. Short score, so the higher the number, the higher the likelihood of a squeeze happening, is 28.33, and then utilization is 0.04. So very low stuff when it comes down to that. But even though only 2% of the free float is being shorted, that does work out to be 1.28 billion. So a lot of shorts are in PayPal, nonetheless. So let me know your thoughts on that. But when it comes down to options, a lot of money was getting into PayPal through options, 8.47 million in calls versus 3.59 million in puts. And then looking at the consensus, so 48% of all the options activity today were optimistic and bullish. And based on that, it's kind of looking like it's orienting for it to be in excess of $65 by the end of next week. So like I said, just bigger and better things might be coming down the pipeline for PayPal. Looking at the puts that are being purchased, you do see a consensus for it to be sub $59. So risk versus reward is very much in favor of upside. And as of right now, with it closing at $60.77, it is trading between this S1 and the pivot. So 56.94 is going to be that next strong support. And over the last several trading days, it didn't even come remotely close to that. So that's definitely a positive. It shows that PayPal in general wants to move higher. $61.18 is going to be that next strong resistance / target. Didn't really touch that nor today whatsoever, but going into the next several trading days, plus GDP and PCE near the tail end of the week, that could be enough to propel it into this pivot to this R1. And then, like I said, it's just a fine line between that and then the 70s. So like I said, I think I'm pretty excited about PayPal. I've been really buying. I initially did buy it for a swing trade, just around that $58 to possibly $65. But given the circumstances, and I think just their huge opportunity for their upcoming earnings, I'm going to be holding up until at least like 70, maybe a little bit more, just to see exactly the momentum that is had at that moment. So we'll just wait and see, but nonetheless, I'm pretty excited about the future for PayPal. Looking on the actual chart itself, so it is higher percentile of the Bollinger Band. Stochastic, you do see it at 58, so it is considered somewhat neutral, so not really overbought as it once was right here, but you do see a bearish deviation as well. You do see number of investors have been getting in ever since it looks like July the 1st, which conveniently that seems to be roughly at the bottom, give or take around that $57 mark. So all in all, let me know your thoughts on PayPal. Do you think it is going to be higher than $70 by the end of their earnings, or do you think it's going to break down a little bit more? Do you think analysts are correct? Because over the last little bit, you can quickly see that right here, over the last 90 days, there's been roughly 29 revisions, 1 positive, 28 negative. And so do you think that analysts are right on PayPal, or do you think that there is going to be a very positive surprise? What's your thoughts? One final thing, don't forget to take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for a new account with Moomoo, throw $100 at it, and they give you 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. This is a kick-ass deal. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.